It's week 5 of the 2016 high school football season. Tonight from Irving Schools Stadium, it's the 45th meeting between the Nimitz Vikings and the Irving Tigers. Hi everyone, John Nelson along with Rob Willman. Nimitz coming off a loss to Grand Prairie to open up district play last week, 49-35. And in a game you saw on ICTN, the Irving Tigers shut out by the Duncanville Panthers 31-0. Nimitz won this game last year, speaking of shutouts, 21-0. As we take a look at the current standings in District 7 6A, DeSoto, Duncanville, South, and the Gophers of Grand Prairie all unbeaten at 1-0. Cedar Hill, Nimitz, Irving, and Mack still looking for district win number 1. Nimitz comes in the more prolific scoring team, averaging 39 points a game. Irving, the defense really will have to tighten up tonight, yielding 37 points a game. Nimitz here at Irving Schools Stadium 1-1, and the Irving Tigers still looking for home win number 1. They're the visiting team tonight, but really no home field advantage here at ISS. The Irving Tigers in road white. Nimitz will receive the opening kickoff, and here's Rob Will.
All right, Luis Mendoza will tee it off, number 16 for the Tigers. Not much of a breeze, a beautiful night on the 30th day of September. That is a live ball, folks, and the Tigers got it. Someone had to make a play for the Nimitz Vikings, and they didn't do it. And what they did was they allowed number 22, Trayvon Jackson, the sophomore, just to fall on it, and there's a special teams boo-boo right from the get-go.
Well, nobody from Nimitz wanted to have any part of it. They were 8-9 yards away from it. As we see, one big bounce. At about the 30, it goes up. Nobody is getting to it except number 22. He raced to it first. Jackson, the sophomore. And what a great start for the Irving Tigers.
So first down and 10. They're inside their opponent's 25-yard line. They go to Miles, left corner. Miles off the left tackle. Dragged down, but not until he gains a couple of yards in the process, as Derek Hamilton, a new face out there, who goes from left side linebacker to right side linebacker, who's third on the team in
after
tackles.
The play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 2, offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Unsportsmanlike
It'll
against
be second down.
Ontiveros, the senior, the captain of this Tiger team. Called for unsportsmanlike, and that takes the wind out of the sails a little bit for the Tigers as they look at a second down and 20. And as we all know, following the Tigers, it's been really rough on these guys trying to muster up some offense.
They're just trying to get to third down and keep a drive alive this year.
Both Miles and Young in the backfield. Last time out on ICTN, Young hurt his knee, missed most of the second half. Levante Briggs in at quarterback. Gives to Young, straight up the middle, trap blocking. Gains a couple before he's caught right at the line of scrimmage by Stephen Yarborough. 10 tackles on the season for the senior. Missed first couple of weeks, 3 weeks with some injuries. The coach said he's just now getting back into playing shape. And sets up a long third down and 18.
And here comes Jackson, the man who recovered the opening kickoff for the Irving Tigers. He goes wide to left.
Passing has really been tough on these Tigers this year. They've really done a lot well running the football. And there we go to the right side. Maybe to the 20-yard line. It'll set up about fourth down and about 5. And it's Trayvon Jackson, number 22, who went in motion, ran that little wheel route, if you will, the little sweep to the right. And he's going to get his kicker in pretty good shape here, as it appears that Coach Delatorre there, kind of in the middle, just to the left part of your screen in the all-white. The head coach for Irving is going to send his kicker out there and see what Mendez can do. This will be about a 36-yarder. Again, no wind blowing, and it's pretty much straight away. Got the leg. It might curve in. I think it did, yes. So the Irving Tigers strike first. Mendez with the field goal, the left-footed kicker, had that one tucked right inside the upright for 3 points, and call it a victory if you're an Nimitz fan to keep them out of the end zone. And for a team like the Irving Tigers, who have struggled to score points this year, only 70 points in all after 4 games, getting 3 points, I think, is a major victory for this team.
Well, it is. You'd hate to start at the 24, then have a 15-yard penalty and come away with nothing, but they come away with a field goal. And as you said, Rob, it's been tough this year offensively. The Tigers only averaging 17 points a game. They were blanked last week. The season opening loss to Pascal 41-29. But you know something? They have the lead.
And in these type of ball games, you know, you've heard the old cliche before. You know, you can throw everything out the window. But it's true. We've done enough of these crosstown rivalries before to know very well that if a team comes in that's struggling, say offensively, all of a sudden something lights a fire under the cleats and they start scoring. So there is Eugene and Williams back again in receiving formation. This time they moved about 10 yards up. Instead of being at the goal line, they're at their own 10. And Mendoza, we'll see where he plays this one, as it appears the Vikings have made some adjustments on the special teams, at least in their formation. And Mendoza goes, I'm going to go to the left side this time, and a fair catch made at, about the 18-yard line.
Well, it was an early fair catch call.
Well, there was no way they were going to mess this one up, as Philip McDonald, backup linebacker and running back, the senior, made the fair catch.
All right, here's the offense tonight for the Nimitz Vikings, averaging 39 points a game. The interior line anchored by Ian McClure. McClure and Franco, all district performers last year. Ponce, the quarterback. Eugene closing in on 800 rushing yards, and the receivers.
All right, 1st and 10, and Eugene is a thrill to watch, number 21. If you haven't seen him in the backfield, you're going to watch some great plays, but Ponce is going to take it first. Across the 25, pushed out of bounds, driven down really hard, and there will be a penalty flag thrown against Aiden Reynolds, number 67, the senior, who drove Ponce to the ground pretty hard once he was out of bounds. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Tigers.
Easily about 4 or 5 yards out of bounds, and really no reason for that.
Yep.
Play. Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. 67 defense. 15 yards to be tacked on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So here's on the look as Ponce right now escorted out of bounds. Just let him up. There's no reason to drive him and pump him to the turf.
Yep, you just got to let go.
He's gained his yardage. Just live with it.
Well, you're all ramped up early in the ball game against a crosstown rival. 1st and 10, more yellow flags. Boy, we saw so many last week. Legal procedure call against the Vikings will move them back 5. Last week in that loss to the Gophers, which I've got to admit I was pretty shocked when I saw the score, they fell behind by 3 touchdowns early on, and then they had to play catch-up. Gophers really didn't have to pass much. Heck, they attempted only 8 passes the entire game against the Vikings, but it was big plays running the football. 1st and 15. Eugene hides behind his offensive lineman. He gets maybe 3 of those back.
All right, let's take a look at the Irving Tigers defensively, and again giving up almost 38 points a game. The Tinglins, and then Reynolds and Zamora, the front 4. Howard, Stevenson, and Green in the middle. And the secondary, Radford, Avery, Kirkland, and Cabello. Kirkland, the leading tackler for this Irving Tiger team last year.
So it's 2nd down and about a dozen. 4 split to the top of your screen. Ponce very quickly out to Norris. Cody has great speed, but not fast enough on that play as the pursuit caught up in a hurry. This is a different Tiger team that we've seen so far this year, and defensively they were all over that play, sniffing it out, making it a 3rd down, and still about 12 yards to go.
Norris, the team's leading receiver, 24 catches, over 400 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
It's Damian Green there, the rover, the senior, one of the 3 linebackers. A couple of changes defensively for Irving. One of those was Zamora started at one of the defensive end spots, but Frost is back in there now, and here comes the blitz, and we've got a whistle. Somebody probably called time, I think.
Irving, first timeout.
Yep, timeout Tigers.
Irving leads this all-time series, 21 wins, 20 losses, and 3 ties.
The changes defensively, besides Zamora in for Frost, at least to start, they moved Sanders from free or cornerback to free safety. And then they brought in Carlos Avery, number 30, as one of the corners. Cabello will sit down. He'll be substituting in tonight. But like I said, it didn't take them long to bring Frost back out of there, number 48, or 28, the sophomore. Good size, good speed, making his presence felt here in the first offensive series for the Vikings.
Avery is a junior. The team led in tackles through 4 weeks by the linebacker DJ Stevenson comes in with 32 stops. Right behind him is Kirkland with 31, the safety.
So Ponce, who has thrown 7 touchdowns and only 1 interception this year, 43 out of 67 overall in a passing situation now, unless they try to mix things up and just do a little quick over across the middle. But instead, they get the first down to his favorite receiver, Cody Norris. First down, Vikings. Norris coming in with 5 touchdowns, averaging 16 yards a catch. That was good for about 16 right there, and a first down for the Vikings.
There you see Cody's numbers averaging a little over 17 yards a catch. And another look, they found a soft spot over the middle, and that ball just high enough, and a nice pass for Norris to climb the ladder.
Just enough time for the quarterback. Eugene, his second carry, dips and dodges and stops and starts and spins and turns and ends up with all of that maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, he's a marked man tonight. Jonathan Tingland, the defensive lineman, on the tackle, assisted by 2 others.
Also, a couple of changes starting for Nimitz tonight. They've got a new left tackle, Eric Cisneros, a senior, number 60, getting his first start on the offensive line. So it's second down and 10. He did get back to the line of scrimmage as the Tigers hold up front, and Ponce goes off left tackle. It's about a buck and a half, and they'll be facing another third down and long, as so far the Tiger front 4 and those linebackers behind him have been doing a good job containing the quarterback and Mark Eugene, and really trying to force these young Vikings to put up the football.
Aiden's completion rate as a sophomore, pretty good, 64% this year.
3rd and 9, 2 in motion. That's Norris and Eugene both to the near side. Naked backfield. Ponce looks one way. The rush is on. He somehow gets maybe a yard out of all that, but boy, the pressure coming in from all angles, and there's Frost again, number 28. Came in off the edge that time, and that play just took too long to develop as a sophomore tried going to his right. By the time he went to his left after the fake, it was too late. There was Frost beating the right tackle, Carlos Franco.
He pumped once, and then Frost wasn't having any part of that.
Nope. So it's 4th down and 8. It appears the Vikings will go for it. Maybe a quick kick, maybe not. Ponce rolling right. Has his man in the flat. That will be good enough for another first down. Cody Norris seems to find the edge and find the seam, and Ponce delivers again.
In a crowd, Norris this year does have a pass reception of over 65 yards, but in between 2 defenders, and another nice grab by the senior wideout.
You know, it was Zach Wilson last week that had 5 catches for over 100 yards, including a touchdown. Cody had 4 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. He's adding to those numbers just on this opening drive for the Vikings. Put it in the belly of Eugene, and Eugene gets some movement on the outside, jukes again, and runs out of bounds inside the 25 to about the 23. That appears to be another Viking first down, and it's so much fun to watch this guy run. He is so elusive. He can start and stop on a dime, and they had that middle plugged up pretty good, but boy, when he came on the outside, look out, watch the speed.
Little soft shoulder here and a dip to the outside. Mark Eugene adding to his total. Here he is again.
Back to action right up the middle, a broken tackle. Wrestled down at the 10, another first down for the Vikings. Eugene right up the gut. This is the first time that he's been able to run between the tackles and find some space. And it's first down and 10 at the 10, so it'll be first down and goal. The Chains have been told to lay back, and the Vikings will have at least 4 tries to take the lead at the 5:30 mark here of the opening quarter. And they got the power package in with Yarborough right there going in motion to the right side. Guess which side they're going to run? Right behind Steven. Eugene spins for 2. Upended by the middle linebacker, DJ Stevenson. Yes, there's 2 DJs on this Irving team. One plays quarterback, one plays middle linebacker. So we're closing in on the first quarter, under 5 minutes to go. Second and goal. Yarborough stays in, number 99. This time the big defensive lineman who they use as a blocking back is to the left side. Ponce keeps to the right. So pushing and shoving after the play.
Don't reach in your pocket. No penalty, please.
Marcel Jones, number 74, kept blocking after the play. One of his teammates finally came around and grabbed him from behind and grabbed the jersey and pulled him back and said, come on, we're in the red zone. Don't do this.
Yeah, it's a green light special here at the 5.
Third and goal. Everybody bunched up, a penalty flag. Ponce will score. If they let it go, it seemed to me that somebody lined off offsides on the defensive side. If they didn't blow the whistle, if it was a shift, usually they blow the whistle on a legal procedure. But they let the play go, which usually means it's against the defensive side.
Dropped by the linesman on this near side, and the Vikings feel they have scored.
Let's see what referee Tommy Little has to tell us tonight.
Result of the play is a touchdown. Sideline warning against Nimitz.
All
That
right,
is their
so
first.
sideline warning to the Nimitz Viking coaching staff. Usually the linesman is so far down, it's not like they're interfering with him at that point, but I've got a feeling they went past the 25-yard line. That is, the 25 to 25 is where the coaches can stay, and they cannot go past that, kind of like the coaching box in basketball. And so the first time, you just get a warning. No ticket, officer. That was right down the pipe. And the Nimitz Vikings answer.
They polish off a drive of 81 yards. Ponce with a fake handoff to Eugene, running behind big number 64, Herrera, and finds pay dirt and a lead for the Nimitz Vikings. And for Ponce, rushing touchdown number 3.
Indeed, some good blocking down front. You talked about Herrera. Herrera took the linebacker and just basically pushed him out of the way and gave Ponce enough room to pick up a touchdown and give the Vikings the lead. Ponce had thrown for 7 touchdowns coming in. Turns around and scores on that one to cap off the drive. And now let's see what the Tigers can do.
Well, this opening 8 minutes, Rob, you'd never know that these two teams are 0-1 in district play. And there's nothing like a crosstown rival to build up that intensity and hopefully pick up your first district win.
You know, it's cliche-ish. As Ponce, that was his 3rd rushing touchdown, but you know, it doesn't matter when the Irving schools play each other. They put on a good show. In fact, that was the last thing that Coach Rogers told me. He goes, I hope we put on a good show for you.
I thought I was going to say, shut the door on your way out.
He probably said that under his breath. Aguilar with the pooch kick here to the near side, fielded by Miles. Miles going the opposite direction, breaks a couple of tackles and runs out of sideline.
Pretty good return. Miles made up his mind at about the 20. None of this fair catch stuff, and has a nice return of 18 yards.
And you might have seen it on your screen right there, a penalty flag tossed after the play. I didn't see any Viking players in the vicinity, but that doesn't mean anything.
Referee tonight, Tommy Little. busy here in the first 8
After the
minutes.
play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 14 kicking team, 15 yards will be tacked to the end of the run. First down. That's number 14's first unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
And on the return, it'll give them field position right at the 50-yard line. Was it after?
I guess they're going to call that on number 14, Christian Nelms, a little push. So Irving will get it at midfield. They go to Raekwon, and Raekwon is smothered by number 30, Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones, who leads his team in tackles for a loss with 5. He has 17 tackles overall. This is a defense for the Vikings that are pretty much linebacker laden, and that means, and really they concentrate on the linebackers and hope that the linebackers are the ones that make the contributions. The linebackers, they run 4, they run a 3-4, and all 4 linebackers are the top 4 tacklers on this team.
And we have a illegal substitution on the Irving Tigers, and they've now been penalized 35 yards here in the first quarter.
That's against Young with the penalty there. Trying to change things up. They've got, they moved Hamilton to the right side. They have Stegman starting on the left side. Briggs keeps, he's got some movement. Nice block at the 45. Does a little stutter step at the 30. And Briggs gets the first down and has some space to move.
25 yards on the pickup, and a big first down collected. Made a move at about the 45 of Nimitz. Cut it back to the near side.
Micah Brooks, number 10, wide receiver, who is lined up to the near side that time, had a really good downfield block to help spring his quarterback. You got both Young and Miles in the backfield. 2 talented running backs on this Tiger team. And it's first down and 10. Motion. They give to Miles, and Reedy is right there.
From the backside, just flattened it.
John Reedy, the big junior. I'd hate to pay his grocery bill.
It's in the 4 figures. Here's the Nimitz defensive alignment tonight, and the team's certainly glad to have Yarborough back. Reedy and Jones, the front 3. Then Stegman, the team's leading tackler. Good quartet of linebackers, and the secondary, Lawson Sherman, Jordan Williams, and Savon Williams.
All right, second down. Running backs go in motion, and they go right up the middle instead to Ontiveros. Ontiveros gets about 1. Vikings say there was a fumble, and there is, and they get the ball. Well, it's Jones, number 30, that comes up with it. That was a well-designed play where both running backs went in opposite directions, and they set up a little screen right in the middle of the field. Ontiveros had it, but then you look up, and the next thing you know, the Vikings are saying, we've got the ball.
Oh, good play. It's set up perfectly, the middle screen. There's a couple of blocks, and then it loses as
wow, Jones.
Dislodged by Jones.
Jones knocked it out, and then he recovered it. Caused it and recovered. The daily double, and here goes Eugene. Eugene for 13.
And the 4th first down here in the opening period.
This time he's getting some airspace there to move and to run, and getting some space as Coach Rogers looks at his play sheet. He said, we know we've got problems defensively. All we can do is try to get better.
Eugene now an even 750 yards on the year.
They fake, go across. There is Rogers and drops it. Chase Rogers looking for a second catch on the season. He ran a post pattern and was wide open, but there was a flag anyway.
Dropped in the offensive backfield.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 4 of the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
15 more yards, a total of 45 yards now in penalties.
You know, we saw that last week against Duncanville, John, where the penalties just ate their lunch. Watch Jonathan Tinglin, number 4, top of your screen, and he hits him about 3 steps after the ball was released. I know the Tigers are trying to be aggressive, but the late hits are killing them tonight. 1st and 10. Vikings at the 40. Eugene cuts across in the middle. Reels off another 8 yards on the carry. Mark Eugene came in averaging 10 yards a carry, scoring 10 touchdowns, almost 800 yards for the season.
Had the 5-touchdown game and 300 yards in week 2 against Richardson Pierce.
He will be missed next year, the senior. 2nd and a couple. They fake to Eugene, and the quarterback keeps. Might have got the first down. Nicholas Howard, one of the 3 linebackers, making the tackle, and says, hey, I've got the football to boot, as he came up with it afterwards.
Need to get right on the 30.
I think he got hurt. Got his back twisted a little bit. He got hit right from behind by Jonathan Tingland, number 4. He was holding his back, and I believe Stegman's going to come out there for a few minutes and run some plays.
Well, they shoved around and held Mr. McClure as best they could, number 53.
So Stegman in at quarterback. He hands off to Eugene, and Eugene gets the first down. Stegman, who has made his mark defensively as a pretty good linebacker, is the backup quarterback. I was looking at my sheet earlier today saying, well, what happens if Ponce goes down? Who's going to step in? And one play, catches his breath. And one thing that Coach Rogers told me about his young quarterback, he goes, he is a good-sized quarterback. Plenty of time. There's Rogers again. Touchdown.
Had all the time in the world.
This time he made sure it counted. 8th touchdown on the year for Ponce, the first for Rogers. I believe that's only his 2nd catch of the year.
Yeah, it is.
And it's good for a touchdown.
And again, Ponce had all kinds of time. That was the key, the O-line holding off the charge. And a reprieve for Chase as he dropped one earlier. That was nullified by the penalty, but holds on to this one. Nice catch.
You know, it's got to be a little pressure to be the coach's son. Bad snap. What's going to happen? Oh, it's intercepted it. If he didn't fall to the ground, that could have been 2 points for the Tigers. Rogers felt a little good about himself after that touchdown, and he was letting some of the Tigers know, and Dad didn't like it when he came off the field, but here's a touchdown again, wide open.
Just drilled him right between the 1 and the 2. There's another look at it, end zone shot. Tight spiral and to the end zone, untouched, just like you like it.
So the misconnection on the snap on the extra point, and it's 13-3. You know, it seemed like the first 10 minutes of this first quarter just flew by. But then once we got about at the 2-minute mark, things just slowed down.
5 first downs in this first quarter.
Well, the only thing that, and it's almost like that Gopher game, it's just some of those self-inflicted mistakes on this Viking team. As Ponce will talk to the coaches, they are right above us. You can always tell when it's a play that didn't work the way it should because they always slam their fists down on the desk, and you can hear it from where we're at because the coaches are right above us.
I thought it was because they didn't like the food service.
Yeah. They get our leftovers, don't they? All right. Time to kick it off on the pooch kick to the far side. Again, Irving, they're not shy about running the football at all. And it gets down to the 33-yard line. Another yellow hanky after the fact. Either a late hit or a block in the back. Coach Delatorre comes running out to throwing his 2 cents to the head official, Mr. Little.
Well, the Irving fumble resulting in points for the Nimitz Vikings. This will back them up inside the 25
After
to
the play,
the Tigers.
personal foul. 14, kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Had to be a late hit.
from the point of the foul. That's the third flag. 25 yards now, penalties for the Vikings.
Watch toward the end of the play. 14. What does he? I guess that's it.
Little nudge late.
The little nudge. No nudges allowed. No nudge for you. Miles off the right side. He's got some room. 10 yards, 11. Legs move. Well, that's about 17, and that's the power of James Miles, who came in with just 148 yards overall this year so far in a limited role. You know, last year he ran for 104 just against Nimitz in last year's game.
And the district newcomer of the year last season.
Oh, it's been a little struggle. Sophomore jinx, as they like to call it. They go up the middle again to Miles. Look at him run tough. And last week against Duncanville, I really liked it when they just kind of, when I talk about the Irving Tigers, when they just lined up in the strong offense and they just came in the strong formation. They didn't do anything fancy. They just ran between the tackles and they used the size of their running backs. And they kind of really kept Duncanville on their toes there for that one series till, you know, the Panthers were able to adjust and slow it down a little bit. And we've got a whistle and another timeout. Timeout number 2 charged against Irving High School. So they'll have one timeout left. Nope, that's the end of the quarter. End of the quarter. We finished one. Our score, the Vikings 13 and the Tigers 3. Back with the second quarter in a moment. Tigers with a second down at the 26-yard line of Nimitz. Miles, left side. Pile of bodies after 3 yards. Probably about a third down and 1.
You know, Nimitz last year, the #1 defense among the Irving schools. Not as good this year. They allowed just 23 points a game last year, giving up a whopping 37 as we reach the halfway point of the season.
Coach Rogers said he couldn't put a finger on just one thing. It was just a host of things. Position, tackling, you name it. But a nice play defensively by the free safety, Jordan Williams. The Williams boys, that's new as well out there in the secondary. Jordan and Savion, 3 and 4 respectively, are both playing the safety spots. Lawson has moved to one of the corners. So Coach Rogers is trying to do what he can to adjust and make things happen defensively. That was a big stop there, although come up now to 4th down. Power offense with the jumbo package left. And Miles will have the first by a mile.
And the third first down for the Tigers. This drive starting at their own 33. Shot in the arm there. You can see a little bounce in the step with a first down gain.
So the ball rests squarely at the 20. Levante Briggs came in to quarterback of that Little Elm game, the only win of the Tigers so far. Now he's going to run the option and keep. Maybe to the 15. Reedy and Stegman both on the tackle defensively for the Vikings. But that'll move the Tigers about 3 yards closer and set up second down and 7.
That game with Little Elm, no easy task in week 3. The Tigers winning 28-27.
Receiver split on both sides and hit at the line and dropped his Miles. Somehow he evaded that first tackle and spun away, and he still lost about a yard on the play.
Couldn't tell who was that came in first. It might have been Thomas Hernandez, number 33. There he is blitzing. Yep, Hernandez gumming up the works.
And then Stegman helped clean it up, but Hernandez, you're right, split the gap. He is third on the team in tackles with 33 coming in, 20 solos. So it's 3rd down and 8. There's a quick pass over in the far corner. Ontiveros with some downfield blocking. And looks like he may have the first down. Micah Brooks, again, who has not caught a pass tonight, but has done a really good job of blocking on the edge. Watch number 10, top of your screen, just gets enough to get Williams, the safety, out of the way.
Yeah.
And Ontiveros cuts the corner, gets the first down. It's 1st and goal at the 9.
Needed 8 yards, and they collect 9.
Nothing fancy, just a little swing pass to get out on the edge. Briggs to Miles. Miles churns for maybe 2.5. Gets to the 6. Nothing fancy, but effective. And that's all you can ask. Richard Petit, number 20, also in there for Irving High School. Bailey Williams is one of a couple of wideouts that between him and Brooks, they just hang out. They don't even go to the huddle. They just stay wide right or wide left.
So it's quiet, guys. You got to watch.
Yeah, quick toss. Miles around the edge. He's got room, and he scores. James Miles with his 4th touchdown of the season, and the Tigers are back in this one.
Well, if he gets to the edge, it's over. Broke a tackle at about the 2. As Miles tightens things up at 13-9. Hard to stop
The train?
Mr. Miles. Yeah. Well, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a locomotive, and he wears number 3.
Yeah, they put the wrong points on the board. It's been that kind of year for the Tigers. They gave it to the Vikings. That'll change that. And extra point looks pretty good from this angle. It's a 13-10 game.
Hey, it's the radio frequency number. It's 13-10. Here's Miles on the pitch out, gets to the edge, and just hard to slow up. We expect a pretty tight game tonight. Rob, you know, I was doing some arithmetic, and since 1990, the average score in this game between these two teams is what? What do you think?
35-32.
19-19. It's the average score since 1990.
How about that? Pretty proud of yourself on that stat, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. More out of battery on the calculator.
Well, you know, Irving leads the series 21-20-3. Nimitz win tonight, of course, to tie things up. And, you know, looking back from 1990, it goes in streaks for the most part. You know, one school will win about 3 in a row, 4 in a row, then it'll be the next time. And you take a look at Mr. Miles on the sideline, catching his breath. But, hey, we were just dying for weather like this last year.
Oh, man, just it's a good night to get popped, isn't it?
It is. Mark that. It is definitely football weather. It is about, what, middle of November before it got this cool in 2015.
Yeah, season was over.
Yeah.
Where was it?
We didn't have one good weather-type football game at all last year. Here's the kick. It's loose on the ground. Picked up and over the 25 or so yard line is McDonald, number 45, Philip McDonald. Plays on the special teams.
That's a pretty good pickup. You know, the coaches earlier tonight were rolling and just throwing the ball down hard in front of the receivers as to which way and how do you get to that football first before it's fumbled again. So they worked on that. They worked on those squib kick type of spins coming off of the football with the coaches just standing about 10 yards in front of the receivers, throwing it down hard.
Well, with 8 minutes to go, that's plenty of time for both teams to score a couple of scores, right? Norris in motion. Eugene tippy-toes past the line and gains about 5 in the process. Middle of that line, Jonathan Tinglin, number 4. One of those off the pile, along with Aiden Reynolds, number 67. You know, the key to the Vikings, almost like the Cowboys, and that is you get the ball offensively and you can move it. You just keep it and try to eat up as much time as possible.
Let the defense rest.
Yeah. Eugene, right side, spins at the 35, and he ends up with about 3.5 or so on the carry. Will set up a very respectable 3rd down and a yard to go. As a heavy dose of Mark Eugene.
Oh, what a game last year against R.L. Turner. 200-yard games aren't that unfamiliar, and Eugene had about a 250-yard game against R.L. Turner last September.
3rd and short. Eugene right behind his center. Tigers try to rip that out of his hands, but he holds on and gives his Viking teammates another 1st down, another set of downs to work with.
6 first downs in this first half.
Do we have a penalty? Let's
pick
Offside.
it up.
I didn't either.
Offsides. Defense number 44. It's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a 1st down.
So Nicholas Howard, number 44, is called for offsides. They'll say forget the carry by Eugene. Let's take the 5 yards instead. That was about their 6th penalty tonight for the Tigers.
They've got a total of 55 yards. That's what they had last week at the half.
Here comes Eugene. Oh, a nice block downfield by Norris. Eugene to the 20. Eugene about a 30-yard pickup. Goodness gracious. What a great play is that little shovel pass where Ponce went back like he was going to pass and just shoveled it in the middle, and he had a lot of room to run.
Try to get him isolated. There's one move there, and the last line of defense will come into your picture right here as Eugene runs behind the interference set by Zach Wilson as wide receiver.
Yeah, good job of downfield blocking by both teams and their wide receivers. Quick count trying to get it to Cody, and he drops it. It was not behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll just go as an incomplete pass. Norris had a really good block on that play before. I don't know if we had it from the end zone or not, but man, he did a crackback block downfield after Eugene had picked up steam and really helped set the stage for a big gain there. Watch the bottom of your screen coming in. Boom, right there. Just lowered his shoulder. He's not a big player.
Took out 2 of them.
Yeah, 2nd down 10. Ponce keeps right up the middle. And if it wasn't for number 9, DJ Stevenson, he might have had 6 points. Stevenson was able to grab him around the ankle. And the Vikings will have it 3rd down and 5, closing in on 6 minutes to go before the half. Don't forget, both bands, both drill teams. A little John Nelson, a little highlights.
Very little.
And maybe some coconut cream pie if there's any left.
Already got some.
Good for you. Ponce, there's the room. He's at the 5. Stutters, scores. 14-yard touchdown run by Aiden Ponce, the sophomore quarterback. For those old enough to know, he reminds me of Joe Kapp out there.
You like that comparison?
I do. He's just and I say this with all due respect, just a big lug out there, you know? He's just a big guy. Hard to bring down.
I like the game plan, Eugene and Ponce.
It's kind of a 1-2 punch. Extra point is good. This time the snap and hold was perfect. And watch the touchdown.
Yeah, he took it in from 6 yards earlier. Huge opening and a little shove just to give it some good measure on the safety Avery, the cornerback. There's a shove, and by that time, Ponce was already at the 1-yard line, so he was going to take it in anyway. And a nice lead now of 10 points.
You know, on that play and the big play to Eugene, it was their wide receiver, Zach Wilson, number 15, that was really laying the wood on the defenders out there and running some interference and making some really good blocks as a receiver to create the area for Ponce and the offensive unit to move the football. So even though the receivers aren't catching a lot of the pigskin tonight, they are contributing with their downfield blocking. Basically, you just got a blocker that's lined up wide out to one side or the other.
Well, you can call them the long-distance Vikings here in the first half. Drives of 81, 69, and 72. They're just shredding the Irving D here in the first half.
You know, I think we expected that, don't you? Don't you think we expected some scoring just based on what they've done? I think the answer is whether or not the Tigers could do something offensively to go toe-to-toe with their counterparts. High kick, mishandled, but picked up at the 15-yard line. Young's got some running room. This guy's quick as well. Breaks 2 tackles, 3, and gets back to midfield. Boy, the special teams keeping the Tigers in this one.
Well, you know, when you outkick the coverage, you know, that's off the face mask. You see the over pursuit, but that's just all number 1. That's just all Young. Inside the hash marks, and is cut down at midfield.
Felix Castillo, the senior, was able to get him around the ankles. So the Tigers have it right at midfield with plenty of time. Down by 10. Good crowd on hand by both schools. Love to see that. Love to see it when they start to play each other. Petite, maybe to the line of scrimmage. Hit by one of the safeties, Jordan Williams, number 4. Also Mark Rodriguez, second on the team in tackles, number 13. He has 38 on the season.
Prime objective for the Viking defense right now, just keep them at bay. You're leading by 10. 5:15 left in the half.
Yeah, I think in this particular game, especially the way the Vikings seem to be able to score, if you even hold them to a field goal, that's being successful. Raekwon right up the middle, about 3. Bodies fly afterwards. Tackle once again, it looks like by Hernandez, the sophomore, wearing number 33 for the Vikings. They're not tall by any means. They're linebackers. They're just quick. And they usually do most of their damage when they're able to split the gap and tackle the opposition quickly. And the Tigers still looking for a play. This could end up, looks like Delatorre's going to get in the ear of the line judge and say, hey, I'm going to call time when we get down to about 1 second on the play clock.
They've used their second timeout. I don't know if Raekwon's going to get 23 carries tonight like he had against Little Elm, but
no, I don't know how much that knee's bothering him.
Right. Little sore.
And also tonight, you know, you just go with the hot hand. And I think perhaps Miles is being able to show that he can grind it out both between the tackles and being able to put the speed on when he goes around the edge. And he's the guy to go with.
Offensively, a much better half than last week's game against Duncanville. The Tigers only had 49 total yards at halftime last week.
Doesn't get easy for Coach Delatorre and company. They got the Warriors, and that one's here at home. Then they travel to DeSoto, which looks like the team to beat in this district. And they got Mac and the Gophers, and finish off with Cedar Hill.
A Longhorn, a Longhorn finale.
That's tough, isn't it?
That game will be here. Playing in the parking lot would be a war.
Almost
no matter where you play.
Having to end with Skyline when they were in our district and so good last year. 3rd down and long. Briggs trying to go to Ontiveros with a little quick down and out, but really that play never developed. And let's see what the Tigers will do, and it appears they will punt the football back with just over 4 minutes to go before the break. So a good job by the Viking defenders, and yep, that is Mark Eugene, who will stand back at his own 14-yard line. And I bet they kick it away from him.
Yeah, that was a good job. They had called a timeout, came out with a play, and didn't materialize.
Mendoza at his own 40. Running, kicking, left-footed. Try to kick it away from Eugene, and he's successful. Oh, what a nice kick.
Well, that's riding the rail all the way down.
All the way down inside the 2. Look at that. You know, he had a couple of good kicks against Duncanville last week. Same type. Kind of runs like the Australian rules football kickers, how you kind of run to one side and kick it on the run, and he did that to keep it away from the speedy Panther receivers.
But how did that stay in bounds at about the 15-yard line? How did it not go above the sideline?
He had it just the right kind of spin on it, that's for sure. The way they kick with that, you oftentimes hit high on the ball, and that'll give you that end-over-end movement. So the Vikings have to be careful. A quick out, and it back was Norris, and Norris caught that in his own end zone and ends up getting back to the 19-yard line. So that quick little out pass intended to give the Vikings some breathing room, gave them a lot of breathing room.
Oh, it did. It over 17 yards as he gets by the defender, cuts it back inside the numbers. And a really nice play.
He is so quick. Over 24 catches coming in. And talk about quick. Well, Jordan Tingland. He was all over Mark Eugene before he could even take a step after catching or getting the football after the handoff.
That's a paint swapper. He got different color right here and just splattered him.
Not a lot that Marcel Jones could do, number 74, to block him. You talk about splitting the gap. Came right between the center and the guard before Eugene knew what hit him. Cody Norris in the backfield, and now here comes Eugene. So they're both back there. And it's going to be Eugene. Eugene to his left, stops, spins, and goes out of bounds at, I've got him at the 25, maybe 26. Man, that's got to be frustrating as a defender trying to catch that guy.
You think you have him drawn and quartered, then Eugene, he will pivot on a dime and give you change, and he's not going out of bounds. He's staying in. He's not one of those runners that if he's close will take the easy way and just go out of bounds. No, not him.
And you can pretty much guarantee they're not going to throw it to him. He's only caught it 6 times. He's carried it about 80 if you count tonight's game. Oh, look out. Reynolds picks it up after the fumble, and going into the end zone was the safety, Kevin Kirkland, for the touchdown.
Picked it up at about the 15, and a big break for the Tigers on their heels defensively. And a hit, and a pickup, and a touchdown. Kevin Kirkland, the starter since a freshman for the Irving Tigers.
Well, at first I thought he was down. Ponce was down. But a big hit by Reynolds. And the safety comes flying through to pick up the loose pigskin and scores. And just like that, big play is the name of the game. The extra point is good. And it's 20-17 with plenty of time to go. Watch and see what happens. It just came right out of his hands before Reynolds could even hit him. Watch, he goes back to pass, and it just falls out of his hands. Whoop!
And it'll continue to go. It never goes the other way, and Kirkland picks it up at the 15-yard line. And what a break.
Well, Ponce, you could see him slap his hand down on the turf on that end zone shot in disgust because it wasn't even a hit. It just came out of his hands. Now, I got to tell you, with Reynolds breathing down his neck, you got to think, well, that's going to rush him up a little bit.
They had a pretty good drive started at the 2-yard line, and Irving only has 1 timeout, so you would have think, Rob, that a couple of first downs, and that's the end of the half. But no, now it's a 3-point contest.
You know, this is so Irving-like, making mistakes. You would think it was the Tigers that would be making the mistakes that the Vikings are. Nothing against the Tigers, but I'm saying just their luck. We've seen them the last couple of years. It seems that's the kind of things that would happen to them. They would fumble and lose it.
Yeah, especially the Bishop Lynch game this year.
But now they're taking advantage of mistakes and scoring on it. But with 2:45 to go, that is so much time left for this Viking offense to calm down and go the distance and answer with a score of their own. But Mendoza, who has pretty much just gone to one side or the other and played keep away, this time a fair catch at the 32-yard line by Zach Wilson.
One of those directional kicks, and Wilson there to secure it. So 2:45 left in the half. You've got 3 timeouts to work with, leading by 3. Just hold on to the football and gain a couple of first downs.
Vikings begin possession, first down 10.
Wilson has only touched the ball 8 times this year as a receiver. He's known for his blocking, and that time, though, he did use his sure hands to catch the little pooch kick and give his team pretty good field position with a lot of time left. And I would suspect they'll try to give it to Eugene a few times. Another fumble, and Ponce is having the dropsies here. Switch footballs, dry your hands.
Ponce recovers the fumble.
Is it a concentration thing?
Well, this is a pretty good snap, and it's perfect. Just maybe looked off to the right a second.
And there is number 67 again, Reynolds. Maybe Reynolds is getting in the sophomore psyche. I don't know.
No, not with this rival game. Nothing like that.
Yeah, they're probably saying, hey, where are we going to party together afterwards? 2nd and 15. Clean handoff. Eugene goes backwards and tries to stretch for 5. Get the lost yardage back, but now it's 3rd down and 11. So now you have to decide offensively, John, whether you play it safe. There's only a minute or so left. Or do you try to get the first down and keep the keep the quarter alive?
How about a short possession pass to Mata, the inside receiver?
Maybe, or just go to your number 7, Cody Norris. Or a quick little screen pass that is a little wide and tough for Eugene to handle, and the thing about the pass, it stops the clock. Tigers have 1 timeout to go. And who is it? It's one of the Tingling boys, Jordan. If it was a screen, the thing that offensive linemen have to do, they have to give it a little nudge or two before they release the guys. They can't just open the door and let them fly in. So 4th down with a $1:27 to go. And the Tigers with 1 timeout to their name. And are they going to use their last one? Yes, they are. Coach Delatorre. Yep, timeout. Delatorre noticed that and asked for the timeout, as we understand there might have been an illegal substitution, or possible if they didn't call time. So he calls time. So now he doesn't have any left. But the Tigers get the football to start the second half.
Yeah, in essence, he stopped the clock twice. I mean, the incompleted pass, but didn't want to use his timeout. And they have utilized all 3.
There's Ontiveros coming in. And then now they're going to tell him to come out. So that's where the penalty was going to take place.
Yeah, Young stayed in there in punt formation.
You saw the flag being thrown over the shoulder of Young. There you go. Yeah. Say, now wait a minute, I'm comfortable. Don't mess around. So Ontiveros ends up going back in receiving formation. Not a big rush. Ontiveros will watch that one just roll and roll and roll. I've got a good idea with a minute 16 left to go, John, that the Tigers will just sit on it and get ready for the second half. I mean, if you're going to get the kick from the 3rd quarter to start things off, you got to feel good about being down by only 3. You've had some big plays go your way.
And by getting away from that punt, that was an extra 13 yards that the Vikings picked up. Stayed in bounds and got them pinned back inside the 20.
It's been all Briggs at quarterback. Levante Briggs, the captain, senior, wearing number 6. Now he's going to send people in all sorts of motion. It's tight. Young goes to one side, and they're going to give it up the middle to Miles after everything's said and done. There's a procedure penalty called against the Tigers.
False start. 65 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's against what they call the quick side guard, number 65, Dylan Ross.
I've got them unofficially now. 60 yards in penalties.
And yet they're only down by 3.
Yeah, six flags. Total of 60.
High snap handled by the quarterback. And there's Miles. Miles has got some running room. Miles at the 45, the 50, and brought down at the 46-yard line of Nimitz. Man, Miles shot out of there like a cannon. That left side. Demas and Ross both with good blocks left side. Look at him kick out there. They also blocked down on the linebacker, Rodriguez, and he got the edge and got to show off some of his speed. This is the best that we have seen Miles run.
41 yards on that pickup.
Looking like his old self. A lot of that because Young has been hurt, and Miles has really taken advantage of it. Petit in motion. Briggs dances around. Stegman missed him, but then Yarbrough is there to clean it up.
Yeah, he's at the bottom. Not going to get away from Mr. Stephen Yarbrough, all district last year.
He comes off a little winded. He's like, I'm not used to running this much. And he's on the bench getting some air. Clock continues to run. Second down, I would suspect they hand this thing off. No, they're going to keep trying to throw it. Briggs, plenty of time. Tries to hit Ontiveros. It's a jump ball, and it's picked off by the Vikings. Picked off by number 3, that is Savion Williams. Or is that Willie Lawson, number 9?
I think Lawson.
Yeah, it's Lawson, number 9, who had a jump ball over here at the 28 and came down with it.
Oh, this ball it's just up for grabs. It's thrown into double coverage. You got to make sure on 2nd and 15 that you get something out of it. Well, they give it right back to the Vikings.
First down 10, Vikings from their 27.
Ponce back in at quarterback. He's going to have I'm going to take a kneel formation and say we've had enough shenanigans here in the first half. Let's get in the locker room and catch our breath and get ready for the second half. So most of the Vikings have gotten off the bench and are heading to the locker room, as well as the Tigers. Yarbrough slow to get off. We'll have to keep an eye on him to see if he comes out in the second half. He's holding his shoulder. Boy, what a fun first half. Vikings 20, Tigers 17. Both bands, highlights, and stats coming up. Stay with us.
Halftime at Irving Schools Stadium, and the Nimitz Vikings on top of the Irving Tigers by a score of 20-17. Nimitz scoring 13 points in the first quarter, 7 more in the second. The Tigers getting a field goal in the first and 14 more in the second. Let's go across the way, the Toy Tigers and the Irving Tiger Band.
Senior Lieutenant Caitlin Howard. Senior Lieutenant Helen Lee. Senior Lieutenant Caitlin Aguilar. First Lieutenant Joy Reyes. Captain Kyla Katz. Today the Toy Tigers will perform a jazz routine to Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the 2016-2017 award-winning Toy Tiger Drill Team. The Toy Tigers are sponsored by Curtis Fire. And now, live from Irving, Texas, the Tiger Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Paula Fuentes, Tim Tran, and Ricardo Vega. Color guard captain is Aurelia Witt. Color guard lieutenants are Luis Acosta, Jamie Gardner, Monica Martinez Franco, and Victor Diaz. Drumline captains are Cristela Oviedo, Ashton Sissick, and Jackie Tran. The outstanding section of the week is the enlightened, electrifying euphonium. Outstanding band members of the week are Galen Torres, Johanna Pedraza, front ensemble, Horace plays flute. The Irving High School 2016 competition show is titled Once Upon a New World. Tonight's soloists are Joe Rucker, alto saxophone, Felipe Pineda, flute, Diana Moreno and Miriam Hernandez, clarinet, Jenny Tiger Marching Band.
Halftime here at Irving Schools Stadium, and the Nimitz Vikings on top 2017. They won last year's game, but no shutout this year. A lot of scoring in the first 24 minutes. And after the 3-0 lead by the Irving Tigers, the Vikings get on the board. Ponce with a 5-yard run at the 4:08 mark. It's 7-3. Goes 13-3 on a 30-yard strike to Rogers as he finds the pay dirt. It's 13-3. They botched the extra point attempt. And then Irving comes back on a James Miles 6-yard run. That capped a 33-yard drive. Extra point good. 13-10 Nimitz. And then the Vikings will see Mr. Ponce run for 14 yards here with about 6 minutes left in the first half. That made a 20-10 extra point good. And then after the Vikings punt, this fumble recovery picked up by Kevin Kirkland at the 15-yard line. That came with 2:45 left in the half. Extra point was perfect. 20-17, your halftime score, and the Vikings will have to kick off to begin the second half. Nimitz had the edge in first downs, just 6 of 8 through the air, 1 interception. Irving just 2 of 4 for 8 yards. They rushed the Nimitz Vikings 119-111, but the total yards heavily in favor of Nimitz at the 223 total. 2 turnovers for Irving, 1 for Nimitz, and a whole host of yellow flags for the Tigers, 6 for 60, and the Vikings penalized just 3 for 25. So your first half highlights and the stats with the Vikings out at midfield and the Irving Nimitz marching band.
Now, let's meet our talented Vikings officers. Sergeant Ashley McLaughlin. Sergeant Katie Lazo. Co-captain Alyssa Villa. And co-captain Jaylene Johnston. Our Vika of the week is Alexis Camarillo. Our spirit girl of the week is Dao. And our smile of the week goes to Daniela Rojas. Congratulations to these young ladies for their outstanding dedication, determination, enthusiasm, and showmanship. Please enjoy the show as the Vikings perform a screamer routine to Shut Up and Dance. Check. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Nimitz High School Marching Band. Tonight, they will be performing their 2016 contest production, Lost in Wonderland. The Nimitz Show will take you on a journey of the emotions you might experience in a world of wonder, surprise, sadness, joy, and contentment. All have their place. Follow with us as we take you through the New World Symphony by the Dvorak, Saber Dance by Kachasurian, On the Lake by Zeppelin, and Music for Prague by Husa. Under the field direction of drum major Sarah West, Jesus Torres, Jocelyn Jimenez, and Samantha Carranza. The Nimitz High School Marching Band. And the inevitable continuing, a fine man.
Nice halftime performance by the Nimitz Viking Marching Band. Just about set for the second half kickoff. 2017 Nimitz on top. Back with our ICTN Game of the Week right after this.
All right, we're about set for the third quarter of play. The Vikings will tee it off, and the Tigers will receive, going left to right. Tigers in the white with the gold helmets, and the Vikings in the solid purple with their gray hats and purple in on the side. And here's the kick by Aguilar, all the way back to the goal line by Rangel. Rangel right up the middle, sticks his head down and might have pushed it to the 21. And that's where the Tigers will set up shop, first down, as they will try to score in every facet imaginable. I mean, they started things off recovering a kick to start the game. They've scored on a fumble recovery into the end zone. So the offense has come to life a little bit, as well as the special teams. And now the question remains, what can they have and what can they do in the second half to try to get their first district win of the season? We saw this to start the game, and then as Young there to the left and Miles to the right in the backfield, two good running backs. And Young cuts against the grain. He's got some sideline to work. Stiff arm, brought down inside the Viking into the field, and the first carry's good for a first down.
32 yards. And don't you know they would like to mirror Eugene and Raekwon Young. Boy, you hear it so often in basketball. The first 5 minutes of the second half is so important. Never more so important this year for the Irving Tigers here to begin the second half in the first 5 minutes. Again, 1-3 on the year. And would certainly love to nail down that first district win.
Young will take a breather. They give to Miles. Miles with some trap blocking up front. Carries for 5. He's about, well, now they move it back a couple of yards to the 44-yard line. Petit will now come out. Young is still on the sideline. So they have a single set back in Miles. High snap handled. Miles hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. First one to hit him was Stegman, the linebacker.
They didn't get him up high, but they got him low. And I believe that was Gonzalez.
Jalen Williams, number 41, now in as Yarborough not out there in the second half. It appeared that he might have jammed his neck on one of the last plays of the second quarter. Looking for him on the sideline. Meanwhile, the option. Briggs keeps. Faked the attempt to Miles and paid for it because he was sandwiched at the 43-yard line.
Got hit 3 times and they all hurt. The last one right around the face mask.
So they got Jalen Williams, number 41, playing the near side defensive end, along with Jones and Reedy, the front 3 now for the Vikings. In fact, Yarborough, I see the number 99 jersey with no shoulder pads, and there's a penalty flag as it appeared the Vikings jumped off sides.
Yeah, it's 4th and 5. And if it is exactly 5
Offside.
yards, and it will be, that give them a first down.
Offside.
Well, for
Defense
once the
number
penalty
41.
goes against
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
the Vikings and not the Tigers. Coach Rogers looking on. So there's part of some of the side stories here in the second half. Yarborough not playing on the line. He's a big body down there. And let's see if the Lions or the Tigers can exploit it. Miles spinning out of the tackle of Rodriguez to the 33-yard line. Nothing fancy, just line up and go full steam ahead. The helmet comes off, so he will have to go to the sideline, and Raekwon will take his place. So it's Young and Petite in the backfield for these Tigers. Down by just 3. Underway in the third quarter. This is Young. Young going left side, blocks ahead. The pursuit, though, catches up with him.
They're going to be short about close to 3 yards.
Yeah, tackle made by Jones, number 30. Man, I thought when that play first started that he had a lot of running room and would pick up the first down, but the hole collapsed in a hurry.
I know he got to the line quick, but
yeah.
That was shut down, kind of clogged up.
So it's 3rd and 3. I would dare say 2-down territory this far in. Young tripped, stays on his feet, but then the pursuit catches up. And first it was Stegman, and then it was Hamilton who came from behind and knocked him down, and then Hamilton gets hurt. Watch Stegman right there, and then here comes Hamilton to knock him down, and he kind of went in at an awkward angle, and it appears that maybe he just has a cramp. They're working on his calf, Hamilton. So now we have a backup linebacker in.
Well, Stegman, there's a reason why he's the team's leading tackler. Always gets great penetration.
Great sense to where the ball is going to be. And it's 4th down and 9. Penalty flags fly.
Snap. False start. 64 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's the center Rojo being charged with the false start. Did he move the football?
Well, the Vikings put 7 in the box. I mean, they were kind of bird dogging the offensive line, and they bit.
They dared, and they took the bait. So there goes Eugene back at his own 10. Mendez a little upset. I don't know if they have enough players out there or not. He's ready. This time he doesn't run and kick. He just goes straight away because Eugene had tried to hedge his bet a little bit. And Eugene had moved over to the far hash anticipating that's where Mendez was going to kick the ball, and Mendez tricked him and just kicked it straight away. So a little cat and mouse game going on the special teams between the punter and the receiver. Well, after everything is said and done, it's the penalties that slows down the Tigers. And now the Vikings, with their first offensive series, about 4 minutes gone by. Here in the third quarter, they're nursing a 3-point lead. They go to Eugene. Eugene left, turns the corner, hit right around out of bounds, and there goes the penalty flag.
15 more, yep. Oh, man.
That's at least the 3rd or 4th late hit that the Tigers have been penalized for here in the ball game.
And Eugene now an even 90 yards of rushing.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. 13. Defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's 80 yards now in penalties assessed against the Irving Tigers. Eugene gets that last block. He's out of bounds, and then a little shoulder up high.
Kirkland called for the late hit. In slow-mo, it didn't look quite as bad as it did in full speed.
Oh, no, I was going to say the same thing.
So it's a first down nonetheless, 46-yard line. Ponce back to Eugene, over midfield, pushed out of bounds, another penalty flag. This one could be against Wilson, holding against the Vikings.
Well, the Tigers showed blitz. They even induced one of the wideouts, maybe to grab a hold of a jersey.
I think they did. Watch him say number 15.
Holding. Offense, number 15. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Remains first down.
Watch just to the top left of your screen, right there, number 15, holding his arm down a little bit. He grabbed him on the way down, so that was pretty apparent. You know, we're getting close to what we had last week in that Irving-Duncanville game where we couldn't get through one play, John, without a penalty flag.
Starting out just a mirror image of that game a week ago.
So they get the first down, but it moves them back from the point of the foul. So it's first down and 13. Like they do most of the time, a single setback. 3 split to the top. Let's see. And reading that one was Jordan Tingland, number 7. He has had a steady diet of tackles for losses on plays just like that. Was he even blocked? No. See, it was a trap play. And I'm guessing maybe Jones was supposed to block him, but he made it across the line of scrimmage before anybody could find him.
And Franco, the right tackle, had fired off.
Incomplete, trying to hit Zach crossing the middle. He gets up a little gingerly. That was a quick snap by the Vikings, hoping to catch the Tigers sleeping and napping a little bit defensively.
Tried to go deep on 2nd and long.
So it's 3rd down and 17. There's that fine line of being aggressive and trying to get the first down, or just being too conservative and turning the ball back and hoping your defense can hold on as you nurse a 3-point lead. I'd say fakes, goes across the middle, again trying to hit Wilson. From this angle, I couldn't tell if he overthrew Zach or Zach gave up on the ball. Stops the clock at the 7:04 mark as Aiden looks at the video board to look at the replay to see what happened.
That's the same post pattern. This time maybe not as well he was, but guarded by Kevin Kirkland as it kind of sailed on Ponce. So the drive is all of 20 yards, and they have to punt it away.
Single setback. Nice kick. Pooched over to the left, hits at the 20, gets a nice bounce. And the Vikings will stop it inside the 10, maybe the 6, another penalty flag.
50 yards on the punt.
And here we go with the penalties on every play.
And it's always after the play. About 80% of them come after it.
You know, I can see some of this just based on the rivalry aspect, and, you know, players get a little chippy out there, and when they get a chance to lay a hit on somebody, they do. It's going to end up costing their team the ball game. Comes down to a point in time to where it could cost them field position.
Out. Return team, number 28. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
That's against Jordan Frost. Throw that at underclassman as a sophomore. Watch, right in the middle.
Man.
He hits him right from behind. See, that's just.
That's an elbow right between the 4 and the 5. Not good.
Hey, and he hit him in the back. So a double whammy. All right, 1st and 10. Hand off Miles. Miles cuts inside, loses his helmet again. The free safety, Savion Williams, that time stayed at home and forced Miles to cut it in the middle, and Miles will go back to get the helmet on, and Williams comes up favoring that leg a little bit. And they're going to, I don't know if he's cramping again. It looks like, you know, he cramped before. So he will go out. Chavarria, number 11, will back him up at free safety. So someone new in the secondary. Will the Tigers try to exploit that? No. Fumble. Bad exchange. Tigers get the ball back as Young and Briggs failing to connect on the option.
Oh, what is it? 3rd and about 8, and you're deep in your own territory. I would just send the house here. Boy, just never got it. Ran away from it.
Fortunate for Tiger fans, he was able to fall on the football. 3rd down. They need to get to the 19 for a first.
Here they come.
The house indeed, right across the middle. Ontiveros will not get the first down. Is that Williams back in off the bench, or it could be Lawson? It's Jordan Williams, number 4, one of the new starters tonight that we have seen. And he did just enough to keep him from getting a first. They almost pick him off too. Oh boy, had to climb the ladder to come up with that catch, and the umpire gets right in the way.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? It was Thomas Hernandez that shot through first, untouched.
They need to put those umpires back in the backfield like they do in the NFL. It's dangerous down there with the big boys. The kick. Eugene just watches that one take a bounce, and it favors the Vikings. And guess what, John?
Oh, do I see one?
Yeah.
Where?
36-yard line, far sideline. There are 2 flags.
Kind of shiny over there. Yeah, I do see him now.
Okay, Tommy, we've said your name a lot tonight, buddy.
Referees are going to have sore arms in the morning. Need a rub down.
During the kick, unsportsmanlike conduct. Return team, number 33, 15 yards from the end of the kick. That is number 33's first unsportsmanlike.
I believe Hernandez. Look at right side of your screen. Look at Hernandez. Do you think that was a payback?
I don't think he.
Is that a payback from Frost doing the same thing the time before?
I think he wouldn't have forgot that.
Yeah, I mean, it had all the same makings, hitting the back, behind the play. I don't know. Handoff. Eugene. Eugene makes a miss. 50. Nice block. Gets inside the 45.
Takes a hard hit out of bounds.
We've talked about Eugene's size. He's not the biggest runner, but he makes up for it with his speed.
17 yards on this pickup.
Just watch how he moves. He just 2 or 3 times where you think you have him, and he just is able to get away. And yeah, got to hit there by Frost right toward the end of the play. 1st and 10. There he goes again. Another hole. Another 10 yards. They might have gave him just 9.5, but he's getting some room to run as well. Sometimes he earns about 90% of that by just freelancing out in the open field. But so far, the last couple of series here, he's been being able to get some areas to run the football. Play's still alive. It's a free play for the Vikings. In the end zone, touchdown! 2 penalty flags. Is it going to be interference against Rogers?
What happened here?
Okay, so it was offsides against Irving, but that's still a live play. Talk to Aaron Rodgers about that. He makes a living off those offsides where he keeps the plays going. And I believe they're going to call offensive pass interference against Rodgers. He's pleading his case, but
Offsides, defense number 7. Pass interference, offense number 12. Penalties offset.
so we're going to replay the play.
Replay 2nd down.
Well, wipes out a 65-yard touchdown toss.
And right at the end, I think Tiglin gets him pretty good, or no, Frost.
Yeah, Frost got him.
And let's see if Rogers pushes off or not.
Well, the defensive back, he never turned.
Avery is saying, hey, you got in my way. So let's do this all over again. 2nd down. Eugene waiting for his blocks. Powers back to the 25, maybe the 24. He had Escobar out there in front of him.
Eugene now 119 yards of rushing.
He earned every bit of it tonight. But it's good enough for a 1st down. Game clock is stopped. Norris, a little quick hitter. 2 Tigers in his face, pretty quick. That play never really developed. Gets a couple in the process. Stevenson, number 9, out there in coverage on Norris. Again, last week, Zach Wilson was the favorite target. Tonight, not so much.
Strong side left.
Right up the middle again to Eugene. Maybe about 3 on the play. Sets up a 3rd down and about 5. I would say 2-down territory.
Yeah, you're inside the 20 and a red zone opportunity. We've seen 3 punts here to begin the second half.
Vikings wait. They have Norris and Mata split to the left. Ponce keeps, and boy, Jonathan Tinglin read that one from the get-go. He was all over the quarterback. I would suspect that maybe defensively the Tigers are saying, look, we're going to have one guy that's going to just keep his eye on the quarterback regardless. And, man, he took a hit.
Walloped.
Ponce's going to be sore tomorrow. He is taking some shots to the back, and big boy, strong guy. Maybe we're not giving him enough credit, but he has been hit quite a bit, and maybe the Vikings will just let this roll down and take timeout. So they use one of their timeouts with 2:06 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter of play, no score. We started out, John, that, maybe this thing would become a high-scoring affair. Since 1990, what would you say is the highest combined point total between these
Since
two
90
teams?
combined?
Yeah.
66 or
Nope.
63?
Not going to be there. Not going to be there. As you see the recent history down to 204, a couple of overtimes.
I'll say 70.
Very good. What year, Smarty Pants?
Don't know. I really don't. 94?
2000. 70 indeed. 42-28 combined total.
And who won?
That was the Vikings. After Irving had won the year before, Nimitz had won a couple straight, and then Irving reels off about 4 straight years.
Well, if the Vikings win tonight, it'll be tied at 21 all.
Yes, it will. With 3 ties thrown in there. So Irving's won them 3 of the last 5. So here we go. 4th down, rushes on. Incomplete, ball a little high. And the Tigers have learned to put a little pressure in Ponce's face, and it's working well. DJ Stevenson, one of a couple in there, and Aiden comes off the field limping a little bit, and why not? Man, they have just been in his face all night defensively.
And Ponce really rocked after he let it go.
That has seemed to happen after every play.
3rd possession here for the Tigers.
Oh, having fun on the sidelines. All right, 1st down. Briggs, a quick little out to Ontiveros. Plenty of running room. Cuts the corner and is pushed out of bounds around the 35-yard line. In on coverage, Jordan Williams. But not until Angel picks up a 1st down, gives his Tigers some breathing room at the 35. Love that play. A quick hitter, quick snap. Had him trailing from the weak side, and the Vikings couldn't adjust. Savon Williams back in there in the secondary as Miles is tripped up at the line of scrimmage, might have lost a yard or 2. As Derek Hamilton, number 2, the linebacker, coming up to make the stop.
Who they bring on?
They now have
Quinones.
Yeah, Quinones, number 35, now playing that other defensive end spot for Yarborough. Gives up a lot of pounds. I wonder if the Tigers will go right side more often. Miles, left side. Maybe 3. 3rd down and long, forthcoming. You would think that maybe the Tigers would run to their right now, since you got somebody new there on the defensive line. not quite as big as some of the predecessors. Fresher legs, albeit. 3rd and 7. Another little quick hitter on the outside, complete on Tavares, 1st down.
Same play in which they picked up 16. About as much on that reception.
That's a tough night for Savion Williams, number 3. Again, he's coming off the field with leg cramps. And Briggs did not have a lot of time to throw the football, but just enough to get that over to Angel and get a 1st down.
The underneath pattern has worked pretty well in this series.
It really has. Young, first hit by Stegman, slowed him up long enough for the troops to catch up. Raekwon just not the same guy we've seen earlier this year. He comes up hobbling a little bit, so. A lot of guys tonight, John, with banged up injuries. And now Raekwon stops, and there's a second left before the quarter as the officials call time. I'm surprised they didn't go ahead and just let that one run out and call it a quarter. But
Young, boy, just couldn't get off the field, and now they're concerned to the senior running back earlier this year with a 60-yard touchdown run. Doesn't feel too good right now.
No, and it looks to be that same leg that he hurt in the Duncanville game. About the 3rd quarter last week, he was on the sideline with ice on the knee, and he might have re-injured that one. Let's see if maybe his ankle gets turned right about, oh yeah, right there as he plants to the right. It almost looked like it just gave way more than anything. And he probably re-injured it. He's up. He's really favoring that leg. Get him off the field to the sideline. Basically, the officials will start the clock, and that'll end the quarter. So no one scored in the 3rd. We finished 3, headed for 4. Our score, the Vikings 20, the Tigers 17. Back with the final quarter in a moment. As we return to action, 2017 Vikings by 3. We start the 4th quarter with a 2nd down and 9. Miles, the single setback. Fumble, mishandled. It appears the Vikings might have recovered.
Well, that'll be Irving's 3rd turnover.
It's like Reedy. Check that, Andrew Jones, number 30. They just a miscommunication with the snap and the handoff.
Oh, it couldn't have come at a worse time. You lost your running back, Young, and now they give it right back to the Vikings to begin the 4th quarter.
I'm waiting to see if Ponce is there, and he is. Let's take a look at Jones here on the sideline. And I don't see, well, there he is as a slot back. And now Eugene as a single set. Handoff left side, 5 yards, 8, almost 10. Pushed out of bounds, 33 or so yard line. Eugene keeps adding to his totals. Set a school record for rushing in a game with 300 against Pierce. Tiger Tyson Thompson owns the city record with 525 yards in a game against LD Bell back in '98. I remember them showing highlights of him on Monday Night Football when he played for the Cowboys. Had a brief stint for the boys here in Dallas. We're waiting for the chain game to get all situated. And they have, and it's second down and 2. I would just keep alternating between Ponce and Eugene, but instead they come over here to Norris. Breaks a tackle, good speed, he's got a sideline. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10. Cody Norris, the favorite receiver. He's like a Cole Beasley out there. He's so shifty. He just goes underneath the defender.
It's a good comparison, 30 yards on the pass and run. Vikings in business here.
Kirkland pushes him out of bounds, but not until Nimitz has a 1st and goal here to open up the early stages of the 4th stanza. Eugene just waits for his block, still on his feet, touchdown!
Man, how did he weave and twist his way for 9 yards? Worth a second look.
He's so patient. That's the thing about his running style. He just waits and waits and then explodes through the line. Ducks under the defenders and scores. Boy, he's fun to watch.
That following a Tiger fumble, so another turnover cost Irving points.
Extra point is good. And Mr. Eugene with another touchdown on his resume. Watch it again.
2-possession game now. That one not happening, so he cuts it back towards the middle and has a nose for the goal line, doesn't he?
Watch the chip block by a receiver coming in the middle of your screen, right about here, coming up, right there. Just puts a shoulder in him and gets the linebacker Stevenson off of him just in the nick of time for Eugene to score another touchdown. He came in with 10.
Ponce, now Eugene scoring on the ground tonight.
So the Vikings give themselves a 10-point cushion. Still so much time left on the clock. Good crowd on hand tonight. Viking fans well represented. Irving's got a pretty good crowd as well across the way.
Well, it ought to be the last day of September. Cool, crisp.
First day of the State Fair.
That's right.
In 2016.
Huge day.
The grease is still fresh. Get your fried foods this weekend before the grease gets dirty.
Oh, they will.
Eugene taking a breather. The kick, a short kick, fielded at the 30. 2 broken tackles. I believe that's Jackson on the far sideline. Is it Jackson or Petite? Neither one. That's Kirkland, number 21, one of the defensive players that they have as an up back. It's almost like the way teams are kicking these days is put your best return man on the wing at about the 20, because that's where they're going to kick it to anyway.
But if it only goes to the 20 and you're guaranteed at least 10 yards on the return, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mack and Irving coming up on the 23rd.
So let's see what the Tigers can do. Can they answer? Briggs, he's going to pass, has time. Down the sideline, Tavares has it.
Oh, what a throw, what a catch.
Man, great concentration by Angel. One of the co-captains. There were 2 men in the area, and that's when it gets really dicey, because then you don't know who's going to end up with it. But Briggs had plenty of time to throw, and Tavares just kept his eyes on the ball as Williams tagged him pretty good. Williams came up with it afterwards, but they said he was already down. Briggs keeps. Reedy drags him down, but not after 8 yards.
Uh-oh, we got downfield action here. One of the defensive backs and the receivers tied up. No flag.
Yeah, I believe that's Stegman, the linebacker, and Tavares that were exchanging phone numbers.
Out of service.
Yeah. A lot of times you get the receivers locking up with the defender like that. They get away from the play, things get a little dicey. 2nd and short. Miles, left side, penalty flag thrown. Might have a hold.
You know, as soon as he went down, down came the flag.
Yeah, don't know if that was one of the linebackers.
The referee had to throw it over the top of Miles. Penalty flag. Well, let's see. The Vikings, Irving here in the second
Offense
half.
number 63.
25
penalty for the spot
yards
of
in
the foul.
penalties.
Main second
And
down.
more coming.
So the penalty was on the left tackle, or what they like to call the quick tackle, Sebastian Dimas. Right in the middle of your screen, takes him right down.
Yeah.
So that was an easy call for the official. 2nd and about 11. Final quarter of this crosstown rivalry. Ontiveros with that wide receiver screen. Pulled down hard by number 45, Philip McDonald. It's a night where we've seen a lot of key players hurt. Yarbrough went down at the next to last play of the first half. He hasn't returned. He has a sling on. Maybe injured his shoulder. Young went down right at the end of the 3rd quarter, the running back for the Tigers. 3rd down, they got the big package in there with both the Tinglin brothers in, and a timeout because Brooks came off the field a little too late.
That's exactly why they had to utilize that timeout. So each team has used one. Well, a couple of weeks ago, it was exciting times around ICTN. They garnered 1 first for Game of the Week, 1 second, and 3 third-place awards, along with 3 honorable mentions at the National Association of Telecommunicate Officer and Advisors. 8 national awards in all. Congratulations to the entire ICTN staff and the Department of Communication.
Well done, everyone.
Hey, just like wins, awards are hard to come by.
They are.
Take them when you can get them.
Right now, the Tigers are hoping to take about 4.5 yards on this next play so they can get a first down. As Coach Rogers looks on, they go back and had that same set. Look, the quarterback is to the left,
right,
and everybody's strong to the right. They go to Miles straight up the middle, and Miles has the first down. Has enough for the first.
A quick blast. Again, they're without Raekwon Young.
Let's see if they do a quick huddle and come back to that same lineup. Last time, the quarterback only had like 2 blockers to his left, and everyone else is to his right.
Christian Morales on now as a defensive tackle.
Now they flip-flop it, and it's strong left. Miles gets a nice lead block by Tinglin, and is corralled down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, that is close.
Jordan Tinglin, number 7, put a huge block on one of the linebackers or DBs on the corner, and that gave Miles enough room to get the first, or get close to the first down. 2nd down in just a couple, but I love the strong set. I call it Tinglin left, Tinglin right. Quarterback straight up to Miles. Stegman tried to anticipate the count and might have done it. Looked like maybe Stedman, one of those linebackers, came off the corner. And
He did, able to recover it.
wow, Stegman was able to pull the ball loose, and somehow Miles recovered. That would have been a costly turnover with under 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Tinglin, the big boy up the middle, still moving. Touchdown, Tigers.
Well, first touchdown couldn't come at a better time. Now makes it a 1-possession game.
Jordan Tinglin, shades of the refrigerator Perry, with with that strong set right. It's like whether you're a 200-pound running back or a 300-and-something-pound defensive lineman. If you keep the legs moving, it's tough to be brought down. The player comes in at the last minute, goes in motion.
Look out.
Players are knocked down. We've got a little exchange of pleasantries.
Coaches, players, personnel. Hey, look at, ooh, this isn't going to end anytime soon.
I don't know why one of the players for Nimitz feels like he has to come off the bench.
Well, he did. It was Derek Hamilton that got shoved down first.
Well, I think all the coaches have everything situated.
We got laundry and helmets all over the field.
Well, and now I think even some of the coaches are talking smack.
Yeah, there's some chatter broken here. We don't appreciate anything.
And then Delatorre and Rogers shake hands and say, hey, we're cool.
WW 2.5.
Well, we got a lot of stuff to digest here. Go ahead, we'll start with Tingling.
Yeah, the last 2 touchdowns in this quarter have come from 9 yards out as Tingling breaks 2 tackles. And then, there's another look at it. But
again,
just tough running ahead. That's a nice run.
And now they're going to have to dissect. Hey, it's offsetting. Is this offsetting? Take everybody, put them back to the bench. Both head coaches are talking to their kids.
The entire Nimitz squad is getting a tongue lashing as they have all taken a knee at the 45-yard line. And Mr. Rogers delivering his sermon. A little brimstone added to it.
There are some players getting one-on-one attention from the assistant coaches. Trying to tell their kids to settle down. You know, we all know it's an emotional game. Doesn't matter what the records are coming in. It's more about pride. You know, you got to be honest, both teams struggling this year. So they come in, and this is like their Super Bowl.
The extra point, you saw the man in motion, the block, and then keep an eye on Derek Hamilton, number 2. Here he is talking. He shoved.
So he and the kicker, they get into it. And then you know it's not going to stop after that. Somebody keeps it going.
Yeah, all it takes is a extra shove.
The irony of all that is the guy that hit the kicker, I think, was blocked into him. But you know, the kickers, shoot, they've been sitting around the whole game. They're like, look, I'm not going to take that.
I only come out here to kick.
Yeah.
I'm a player too.
All right.
Shoulder pads may not be as big.
But I got better cleats.
But I'm part of this winning team.
I don't know. Maybe there might be players ejected. Let's listen in.
Offsetting and then
maybe some ejections.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
After the kick is good. After the kick, unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. For Irving, number 9, 15, 5, 11, 44, and 16 are disqualified. For Nimitz, number 33, 6, and 21 are disqualified.
Well, 5 have left for the Tigers and 3 have departed for the Nimitz Vikings.
If he said 21, that's Eugene. There's a lot of players to dissect.
Yeah, we'll ask the question on our post-game show. Some ejections for both sides, penalty yardage.
Well, I'm guessing if Eugene is one of those that has been kicked off. That means they kicked him off because he came off the bench. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't any part of the play.
No. It's going to hurt Nimitz by losing Stegman. He is their star defensive linebacker.
A backstreet brawl here on 6th Street. When was the last time you saw, was it 8 players, 7 players ejected?
Been a while.
I think that was a total. Couldn't keep up with the numbers.
9 in all. Both teams really depleted depth-wise. It's not like any team is rich in depth.
Yeah, you don't suit up 90.
No. And the fact that the Vikings are going to lose their star running back, now it will be interesting to see what the Vikings do offensively when they get the football. You know, if you're Irving, you're going to key on the quarterback. He may be forced to run the football a little bit more. Willie Lawson is the backup runner, number 9. He's carried it 7 times for less than 100 yards and 1 touchdown. But Willie, you may be called upon to be the tailback and fill some pretty big shoes.
Looking for Eugene.
Oh, look at Briggs. Briggs did the kick. And there's going to be a late hit there.
Couldn't hold up, was sideswiped, and a 15-yarder.
Well, we couldn't hear the official, but I'm guessing that Mendoza,
late
the
hit,
kicker,
number 21.
got kicked off the team for
Kicking
Irving.
team. 15 yards.
He
out
started
of
the
the
pushing
run.
initially.
Automatic first down.
So Briggs had to do the kicking. So now you've got, for Irving, you've got your punter and your place kicker who's off the team. So now you don't have a kicker. So that will unfold if they have to punt the football. There goes some of the Irving players I see on the far corner.
Let's count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Here comes another one.
6.
Vikings lost 3, so that is 9.
Yep, so here we go. Trying to turn the corner is Lawson. And Lawson with about 3. Lawson should have some fresh legs.
Irving tonight, 11 flags for 110 yards.
Well, it's been a fun game up to this point.
Now you just want to hold off and
want to make sure everything doesn't deteriorate from here. They end up giving him about 2. So it's 2nd down. Vikings with a 3-point lead. Norris in motion. There's going to be a penalty flag as Ponce keeps running and gets hit pretty hard after 2.
Oh, this is like that
Shift, illegal shift though. The shift motion against the Vikings. And I believe Delatorre's going to take the penalty.
This is like the DH coming off of the bench or the pitcher coming out of the bullpen, having to finish things up. You haven't done anything all night.
5-yard penalty.
So some position changes, and coaching staffs are, well, they are busy right now.
Right.
Adjusting on the fly.
Well, Lawson will now come back and be split along with Norris, and they fake to him another penalty flag. And the ball was thrown in between both Rogers and Norris, but we got a penalty flag on the sideline.
Outsides. Defense number 28. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And that's going to be against Frost.
Well, we had Rogers moving towards the sideline, then Norris was the inside receiver, and you had 2 of them not separated more than 8 yards.
Thing is, I think they were both open.
Yeah.
But he threw it in between them both. 2nd down after the 5-yard penalty against the Tigers. Across the middle, complete! Complete to Wilson. Touchdown!
44 yards.
Zach Wilson, who had a great game last week against the Gophers, relatively quiet in this game until Ponce delivers a strike. And who would think that the passing of the Vikings would put them out on top and score so many points tonight or set up so many touchdowns? Extra point is good. Let's watch the replay again. Ponce, Wilson right there in the middle. Mata with a nice block downfield. Gets plenty of time.
His second touchdown catch of the year. We talked about his big game last week, 5 catches for over 100 yards, and that may have done it.
Saw that nice block by Mata there, number 5. Well, apparently the Vikings saw something in the tape room that they could throw in the middle, and Wilson came streaking down for the touchdown. Tonight's winner will break the all-time tie between these two schools and will lead the series once it's over. But there's still time left. 7:07, just a 10-point lead. Wilson there on the sideline. But this will be the first time that the Tigers will have the football, and some key players defensively for the Vikings will be on the sideline. Aguilar will tee it up. This time he goes near sideline. Ball's caught by Williams. Williams brought down immediately. In on the tackle is Justin Sherman, defensive back. Tigers with 7 minutes on the clock and some change.
Vikings hold on. It'll be their second win at home. Irving still looking for win number 1 here at Irving Schools Stadium. They play 7 games this year at ISS.
Still waiting for the Tigers to come off the field and come on out from the sideline to line up here. Young has not been back in. It's just going to be Briggs and Miles. Briggs keeps and goes down immediately. Jones wraps him up a couple of yards shy of the line of scrimmage. And we got another penalty flag after the play. Now I've got an idea that any little extracurricular after the play, you're going to see a penalty flag thrown.
And I'm sure that's what the coaches have told the players. I mean,
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 8. That is his first of the contest. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
it's no 2 miles over the speed limit will let you off from here on. I mean, it's right on the numbers. Who was that?
Justin Sherman, number 8, is called for it. It's out of the play there. Gives the Tigers a first down at their own 45. Briggs waits, throws out of bounds, trying to hit Lawton.
A little bit too tall by about 8 feet.
He was pushed out by McDonald. Now McDonald is in there in place of Stegman. Stegman, one of the 3 tossed by Nimitz. So McDonald is going to play linebacker, one of 3 linebackers. Second down and 10. High snap, Briggs gets it back, and then he kind of like a push throw is actually caught by Micah Brooks.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a legal pass.
Are they trying to say ineligible receiver, or I think it's all clear.
Yeah, number 10's more than eligible.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
So they say an
69
ineligible
offense.
receiver.
Penalty is declined. Brings up third down.
That's
Yeah, one of the linemen probably more than 5 yards downfield. I think that's
Maybe.
the cushion they're given. But they were so jammed up together.
I don't see how anybody was past the line of
No.
scrimmage. All right, 2nd and 9. Lawton and Brooks on the near side. Briggs, plenty of time. Crossing pattern. Angels got it. Another nifty pickup of 21 yards and a first down. Ontiveros has just been rock solid tonight. Came in with 11 catches and 112 yards, and he has been the go-to receiver tonight for Briggs. First down. Go back to Ontiveros. Grabbed around the shoulder pads, but he still picks up 5 on a little quick hitter. You know, the thing about tonight about Irving is they've been able to mix it up. You know, not just all run, run, run. They can get a few yards passing as well.
Yeah, I think an equal number of plays have gone to the right as they have to the left.
2nd and 6. Vikings a little thin at linebacker as that one goes over to Bailey Williams.
Oh, that's what's his first catch in a year? Hasn't been utilized hardly at all this year.
Yeah, 4th catch overall.
Well, he's a big target, too.
Thing is, the clock is rolling.
Used one timeout here.
Let's see if they want to go back to Miles. Run that little option. Miles tackled around the ankles. Nice job. Getting over there was Hamilton, I believe, number 2. Also, Savion Williams, number 3, also in the same area. But still, it gives the Tigers a first down. The clock continues to run. We're under 5 minutes to go. 10-point Viking lead, but that could evaporate very quickly. A few second-teamers in there at linebacker. Miles, a little swing pass. Hit 3 times, fumbles, ball's loose. And recovered by the Vikings.
Well, that's too bad, and
Yeah.
Miles is down.
Either hurt or he's upset, one or the other, at himself. But one of those backup players, number 34, Gonzalez, fell on it. Miles was hit hard. I mean, they came up and he got hit about 2 different directions.
Let's
Right
see.
about there as he's turning. And even the guy that hit him's coming up slow. That's Chavarria. He's got to play in there in the secondary as a backup. There were 3 or 4 backups, it seemed like, for the Vikings defensively. And you see this a lot where that player is going for the extra yardage. And when he does, he ends up getting hurt.
Just trying to struggle and make the most of a bad situation. And, oh, we've had everything tonight. Game ejections, big pass plays, field goals, and now Eugene has been ejected, and Young went down earlier this half. And now Miles, as the head coach and his staff, really concerned, and should be.
Well, he's up, so that's a good sign. I mean, they don't have him totally up, but they've got him lifted up off the ground from his back, so hopefully, there he goes.
And that's good. That's walking off semi-unattended. We got the Cards next week. Our first look at MAC as they took on the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Fell out of the state rankings this past week. Three-time state champion Cedar Hill.
Look up at the points the Vikings have put on the board tonight, 34, and just think last week they scored 35 and they lost. Second most number of points they've scored in a losing effort in school history. Back in 2014, they scored 44 against Keller Timber Creek. Lost that one 52-44.
Yeah, it was a slugfest.
Well, with almost 4.5 minutes to go.
Last man standing wins this one.
Yeah, I would expect that maybe Aiden would keep the ball a lot at quarterback. You've got Lawson back there just in case. And Lawson has it. Wrapped up pretty good by Frost. Frost was going for the football almost immediately. I guarantee you the coaches told Willie to hold on for dear life. One of the few underclassmen on this team as an every down player. And right now time is on the side of the Vikings. Coming in on 4 minutes to go. John Nelson about to work his way down on the field. He'll talk to the winning coach when this one is said and done. Mata wrestled out of bounds. Did he stay in bounds? First catch for Mata tonight. And one of the Tigers coming up a little gingerly there. That's Nathan Hawkins, the junior linebacker. They give Nimitz the first down. It's their 16th first down of the ball game, and what they'll do is as the clock is been told to wind up, Nimitz will just kick back and relax. This game continues the way it is right now. Nimitz will pick up their first district win. And then they pretty much go into the death march of district. Duncanville, Cedar Hill, South Grand Prairie. Pass incomplete. Trying to hit Cody Norris. That stops the clock. Nimitz will travel. They'll have 3 of their last 4 games on the road. Duncanville, Cedar Hill. They'll host the Warriors. Then they have to turn around and go to DeSoto before Nimitz finishes off the season right here against Irving MacArthur. So we're at 3:17. Up the middle. Lawson. Nice bit of running by Willie. Lawson over the midfield stripe gets another first down. Under 3 minutes to go. Tigers, they will host South Grand Prairie next week. And they go to DeSoto and MacArthur. Grand Prairie finish up with Cedar Hill, who I don't think maybe is quite as strong as they have been in years past. Now, that's not saying anything against them. They're still a good team. They still will make the playoffs. But I believe the thoroughbred of this district is the Eagles this year. They're back to where they were a couple of years ago. Timeout called by the Tigers. So they're looking at things slipping away, down by 10 with almost at the 2.5 minute mark. Got a good crowd. It's nice to see that parking lot full tonight. Nimitz still has MacArthur. MacArthur and company. See the schedule there. You see what the Vikings have done this year. Look at that, 48 points in losing efforts. 35 points in a losing effort. We're going to score 34 tonight and win this one. At this point, probably Rogers that John will talk to, get his thoughts on this game and how emotional it is. Lawson again with about 3 yards. And another timeout by Irving. So that'll be their last timeout. You can tell that Coach Delatorre is not going to go down without a fight. Boy, in that first half, some big plays. I mean, things started off with a kickoff that Irving recovered because the Vikings just looked at it inside the 30. Also had a fumble that came just right out of the hands of Ponce. And the Tigers picked it up and walked it in for a touchdown. We've seen practically everything tonight. And, you know, to be honest, you get a lot of that. You see that a lot when two crosstown rivals meet. You never know what to expect. And it's been a fun game tonight. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. That's Wilson in motion. He lines up tight left. Not much really there for Lawson. He will even lose a couple of yards. Tigers are out of timeouts, so it will be under 2 minutes when Nimitz has to snap the ball. 4th down, about 6. And it wouldn't surprise me, since the Vikings have a couple of timeouts. You see Coach Rogers, he's just going to let it roll and then say, hey, I want a time. Talked to Coach Rogers before the game. Grew up in a small town just south of Wichita Falls. Asked him if he missed a small town. I said, nah, maybe the small town, but not what came with it. Like all the other things that come with a big city. If that's Nimitz High, you should be excited. You're on top by 10. Biggest win for Irving was in 1973 when they won 36-7. Or Irving win. Biggest Nimitz win was in 83 when it was 42-0. This ain't going to have any really records. 10-point difference at this point. It's not going to go overtime, but one thing that it does give Nimitz winning now 3 of the last 6. Irving came in winning 3 of the last 5, and also the visiting team won 9 out of the last 12. Nimitz, the home team, will change the dynamics of that a little bit. Mata has to do the kicking. He punts that, and it goes maybe 10 yards. His key was just to kick that away from the Tiger receiver, and the ball ends up going out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So the Tigers have it back, but they're running out of time. With 1 minute and 38 seconds to go. The ball on their own 34-yard line. They will most definitely have to go to the air. Nimitz playing a good 10 yards back defensively. They go across the middle. Angel can't grab that one, and it's incomplete. That was the first incomplete pass of the second half for Briggs. He was 2 of 4 in the first and 4 of 5 here in the second. Second down, it does stop the clock. Briggs rolling to his right, not a lot of pressure, trying to go to Ontiveros, and does. Oh, that was nice. That has really improved tonight with the quarterback play. Watch Briggs rolling to his right, just drops it right in there, right in front of Williams, or right behind Williams, and right in front of the cornerback. That was nicely done. First and 10. He did go out of bounds. High snap, and Briggs will have to fall on it. Got a 15-yard loss on the bad snap. Just when the Tigers get a big play offensively, when they self-destruct on the snap. Briggs to his left. It's going to be incomplete. Just tried to hit Lawton, number 84. That play, Andrew Jones, the right defensive end, he was just steps away from getting to Briggs before he got that one off. And the way it played out, Petit, number 20, you see him there, the running back, he had to block him. He was holding his own, but he wasn't going to hold him for long. Third down, Briggs on a keeper. It's a design play. Up the middle, tattooed pretty good that time by Hamilton. Right up the middle, and it does not stop the clock. Under a minute to go. Briggs a little tired. Hit pretty good there by Hamilton right at the end of the play. Fourth down. They need 11 to keep their hopes alive, and that's going to be picked off. Intercepted by Williams. Williams down the sideline. Williams has some blockers, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And the Vikings will win this one. Briggs, that one just got away from him. Just took off. He's trying to hit Williams. And the wrong Williams got the ball. Tried to hit Bailey Williams, but instead Jordan Williams comes up with it. Just playing like a center fielder in baseball. And now all the Vikings have to do is take a knee. And I like what Coach Delatorre is doing right now. He's out there talking to his defensive players, reminding them that this is the last play of the ball game. Don't do anything silly. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Shake hands and call it a night. And I think that would be a very good idea. The snap is made. The knee is taken. The Vikings win their first district game of the year after, to be quite honest with you, shocked last week after the Gophers won in the Gopher Bowl. And both coaches have decided just to send their kids, the Vikings have decided to send their kids one direction. And I think just send them to the clubhouse. So we're going to take a break. The Vikings win at 34-24. We'll be back with an interview, stats and highlights in a moment. Stay with us. Oh, what a game tonight. Nimitz Vikings win by 10, 34-24. Let's go down to the field in John Nelson.
Vikings win at 34-24 to pick up their first district win of the year. Coach Rogers, there's nothing sweeter than the first district win.
I'm telling you, they're really tough to get, but when you're playing a crosstown rivalry and you know Coach Delatorre is going to have his kids motivated and ready to go, and they gave us a really good fight tonight. But I'm proud of our kids for fighting and getting that first one. You're right. You can't get two until you get one.
I thought you set the tone early because you really came out hitting hard.
Well, we've talked about all week being a little bit more physical on defense, a little bit better tacklers, and again, I'm so proud of our kids for the way they competed tonight, and my hat's off again to the Irving athletes as well. They got after us as well.
Aiden Ponce, 2 first-half touchdowns, Did you think 20 points was going to be enough to win this one?
In today's football, I don't think 20 points is ever enough, so we knew we was going to have to regroup at halftime and get a few more on there.
Coach, finally, Stephen Yarborough's status?
As far as I know, we're just being cautious right now, but I think he's okay.
Okay, Coach, good luck. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a good evening.
All right, Rob, back to you. As the Vikings pick up their first win of the year, their second win at home.
All right, John, thank you very much. What an exciting game. The score might not have indicated how exciting the second half was, but it had some pretty big plays as well. Let's take a look at those. First, Mark Eugene, who pretty much watched his quarterback do most of the scoring in the first half, gets into action here in the second half. Look at those moves, some really nifty moves inside the 10. Back come the Tigers, and the big guy, Jordan Tiglin, keeps the legs driving, and he goes in for the touchdown. The extra points is where a lot of players got ejected because of some scuffling going on after the fact. And Nimitz puts this one away toward the end. Ponce to Zach Wilson, who had a big game against the Gophers, gets a good block by Mata. He goes into the end zone, and that's all they needed. That was the cushion they needed. Winning by 10, 34-24. The stats, well, as one might imagine with a score like this, there's a lot of them. First downs, Vikings had 4 more. Look at that. A lot of similarities. The passing was exactly the same except for the interceptions. Vikings, talk about a balanced attack, huh? The same amount passing as rushing. But right there, the last 2, I think, is the tell sign of this ball game, the turnovers. Tigers turned it over 5 times. Both teams made way too many mistakes penalty-wise. But in the end, it's the Vikings that they have the bragging rights for next season here in the city of Irving with the win. And winning this one by 34-24 count. And now Nimitz leads the all-time series 22-21-3. What a fun game. Well, for my partner John Nelson and the entire ICTN crew, Rob Willman with you, hoping you enjoyed tonight's game, and you'll be with us next time on the ICTN Game of the Week.